Welcome back. Today's topic is the statistical review of the world energy. The estimated data of about 70 years of World Energy Congress that has been published after reviewing the data of world energy for during a tenure of long 70 years. This report suggests the estimation of those energy that has been used in the future, and it is considered to be the future energy model. In this report, we can explain the key areas of future energy demand, which is sustainable and environment friendly, the use of renewable energy consumption, the use of renewable power generation, application of renewable power generation, the solar capacity, the wind capacity, the biofuel productions, the biofuel consumption, all these futuristic goals set by the World Energy Forum based on the last 70 years data has been collected and analyzes those data, and a future roadmap has been driven. We also see the use of other important sources of energy like natural gas, conventional coal consumption, nuclear energy, hydroelectricity, and other primary energy sources. The energy charting tool has set up for a predetermined reports that specific data according to the energy type, region, country, and the year of uses. The historical data from 1965 for many sections, additional countries and regional coverage for all consumptions. Additional data for refined oil production demand, natural gas, coal, hydroelectricity, nuclear energy, and renewable sources. We explored all these categories, and let's see how the world can see and use those renewable energy sources for a future greener, safer, and clean environment. The 2020 will forever be remembered as the year of pandemic. That's our daily life ups and downs. This is a human tragedy that's all above. At the time of explaining this, we around that 4 million people have estimated to be died during this pandemic. Due to this pandemic, the true number is almost certainly far higher, and it is continuing to rise. The combination of this pandemic and the action taken to limit its impact led to the largest recession in modern peacetime, with that loss falling disproportionately on those in world poorest and least developed countries. The economic scars from the pandemic will likely persist for years to come, and of course, the pandemic and resulting economic turmoil spilled over into unparalleled volatility and the disruption in global energy market for sure. The companies that are committing to greening those hugely significant part to play in achieving those goals. In the year of 70 long views of statistical data that provides us with the objective and timely data that has been needed to help make sense of the most tumultuous event that's affecting the energy market in any past of the recent times. The global energy demand is estimated to have fallen by 4.5% in 2020, the last year. This is the largest recession since the end of World War II, almost 70 years ago, driven by an unprecedented collapse in oil demand as the imposition of lockdowns around the world decimated the transport-related demand. The drop in oil consumption accounted for around three-quarters of the total decline in energy demand. The natural gas showed a greater resilience that helped primarily by continuing the strong growth in case of China. Despite the disorder of 2020, the renewable energy led by wind and solar energy continued to grow professionally, and remarkably, the wind and solar capacity increased by a large amount of 238 gigawatt last year, 50% larger than any previous expansion. Likewise, the share of wind and solar generation in the global power mix recorded its largest ever increase. It grew continually. The relative immunity of those renewable energy to the event of last year is encouraging. The fall in carbon emission from energy use was equally striking, with emissions falling by over 6% in 2020, again the largest decline since 1945. Although unmatched in the modern peacetime, the rate of decline in the carbon emission last year is similar to what is the world needs of average each year for the next 30 years to be on track to meet the aims of the Paris Agreement. There are worrying signs that the last year pandemic has induced dip in carbon emission will be short-lived as the world economy recovers gradually and lockdowns are lifted. The challenge is to achieve the sustained comparable year-on-year reduction in emission without massive disruption to the livelihood and our daily lives, everyday life. Since the Paris Agreement of Conference of Parties in 2015, there has been a huge increase in countries' ambition to decarbonize the global world. Around 70% of carbon emission that now are covered by net zero target, and the rising ambition has yet to translate it into a decisive reduction in emission. The next big staging post for those challenges that will occur later this year with the host of COP26, arguably the most important United Nations climate change conference since the Paris meeting. In years to come, we can see there's some importance and reverence, as we know has been set up those agenda in the Paris Agreement. It can be compared with those net zero ambitions, coherent plans, and near, medium, and long-term aims. Companies that are committed to greening have a hugely significant part to play to achieving those estimated goals. The world needs more low-carbon companies, but maybe from anything that also needs existing energy companies to decarbonize, and so doing use their scale and expertise to help bring about the deep and complex section of those global energy system that world wants and need to see over the next 30 years. It will take the producers and also the consumers, as well as the companies, government, and the society all working together to bring about the necessary changes that are required to get the environment safer, and future use. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.